really enjoyed listening to that. Good advice. So I'm going to add to what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, about what was going on outside the police station while I was getting ready to go in there and do what I was doing. All right. My video account that I posted earlier has been sent to the same family member. All right. I don't call the police for help unless there's a conspiracy going on against me. Only then will I use an uncorrupted policeman from out of this area, which was why I followed my father's advice on that one, because I knew they weren't going to stop. They would keep on playing their games to try and repeat what they did the last time. Right, anyway, I've just had a look at my bills. You know what will come through from the letters. Estimated electric bill, 290 quid. So I've just got to update the meter reading on Monday, wait for them to send the next bill out. That takes about 7 days, so that's that. Don't have to worry about that for another 7 days until they send out the new bill for me to go and pay on the direct debit. These will be from the doctor's about blood test appointment and PTSD trauma counselling, because I was trying to help my son with his 4-inch gash on his forehead, which looked like a vagina, literally. It was flapping open and shut like a vagina on the side of his head. I could have lost my son, really, but he was too drunk walking about like that to feel it. And I was getting extremely concerned that he was over drinking and poisoning himself just to kill the pain, which is why they put him on the alcohol withdrawal med as soon as they hooked him up to the drip. Alright. What else happened while I was sitting outside there? You know, because I did say about the Irish traveller, didn't I, that came up. Just started talking to me. Then his questions changed to, have the police taken your dogs? Have this dogs, dog, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, well, I haven't even mentioned dogs. You've just seen that I've got dog leads on me. You didn't know why I was wearing the dog leads, sitting outside the police station in a very funny mood, not giving a fuck. And on a mission. Because I was just a warner. Anyway, the Muslims that turned up outside the police station while I was there and marched up the steps the same as I did. pizza for da. Said their greetings, the two Muslims guys together there. And I'm thinking instantly, barracks in Northern Ireland, pizza delivery, shot soldiers. My brother's stepson was in those barracks at the time when that happened. Right? It was one of Liz's sons. You know the story about old Elizabeth, don't you, and what happened to her? You know? The names come out the same, don't they? Yeah, anyway, my father asked me about her. I said, oh yeah. I said, well, your brother saw what she attempted to set up in the pub that day when I was sitting there with my children and my brother and your brother. He said, that's right, he did, didn't he? And your eldest son stood behind him, is that correct? I said, that's right. Your youngest son sat there, according to Ray. He was looking very bemused by what was going on, but he could sense what was about to happen if the bloke continued, and the guy was a ex-squaddy, and this Lizzie had tried to get him to start on my brother in front of my dad's brother, myself, and two of my sons. Once I'd told him to sit down, shut his mouth and mind his manners, loudly, and then introducing ourselves, I said, are you really that stupid? He sat down, offered to buy everybody drinks. I said, nah, I ain't drinking. I don't want nothing from you, mate. I said, you need to leave now. My dad's brother walked into a pub on his own and wiped the floor with everyone in it. You know what miners are like. How they do things. It's in my genetic makeup, isn't it? So the little chuckle that I had to myself while I'm sitting on the steps there outside the police station with dog crap smeared all up me, waiting to go into that heated office so he could breathe and taste in the air the stench of my pack. I said, do I disgust you? As he looked at me up and down and noticed what was on me. I said, because it's not going to affect the truth, is it? Still going to be the same truth as yesterday. And I did say I was going to repeat the same truth today, under caution, and I've explained the rest in the previous video. So this I'm going to title Gordon Bennett Part 2. Okay, and there is a reason for that, because I know others have questions about how I think. And mental issues, yeah. PTSD, trauma. Yeah. Blood test to see if the collapsed vein from the prison drug test is still showing up on my blood results as circulation issues the body's trying to heal. I'm hesitant to have a blood test because of the damage done to my circulatory system. I don't really want to stick a hole in the other side that's working that leads right to my heart. Do you see what I mean now? Because that one's been damaged by them as well, but not as severely. You can see where the veins are. That should be a Y shape there, but it's not. Looks like a love art on the end of something, doesn't it, where it's been damaged so much. So I don't really want to have any more state blood tests, but I've got to have one because of seeing what damage is still existing, and if it's got worse or better, if my body's repairing the damage or not, naturally. I'm not worried about any wobbles in my system because I've had to push my own teeth out because I'm not entitled to dental care at the moment, because that's another thing that the government swindled us out of to make us suffer, reneging on the promise made to my ancestors after World War II and saving the parasitic rulers arses. And that's not just my family, that's all the people in this country and their ancestors and future generations were promised, as a thank you to the British people and those that suffered, got traumatised, damaged, killed, just so they could stay in power and stay in their palaces. They set up the NHS and the benefit system for the poor. Then they turn around and call everyone scroungers that are on it benefit scroungers, when really it's their families paid in taxes that pay for their benefits. So it's not even the government's money. It's money that was stolen from their ancestors that's being given back to them, and the government claiming it's their money. No, it's not. It's your family's money, the same as it's my family's money that was taken by force under threat of legal sanctions in taxation. There was nothing voluntary about it. They all had to pay it. Right? So, do I hold any ill will towards any exes, anything like that? No. I'm still in contact with my eldest son's mother. I have a online way of communicating with my other three sons' mother. I don't check it. I don't contact her very often, unless I need to. Then my sons start panicking and want to know all the ins and outs of what I've said and blah 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 blah. Because they then have to worry about if they've told their mother the truth. Is she finding out from my dad what's really going on and blah 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 blah. So playing one parent against another, basically. Yeah, so I don't hold any ill will towards any of my children's mothers or any of my ex-girlfriends. Never had weird thoughts about murdering them or anything like that when it all went wrong. No, I just took them as life lessons. They hurt a lot. It was very hard recovering from it, but yeah, they was life lessons. As you saw today, I offered to help two children fix their bike while recording a video. You saw me ride past the bike that was on the floor and then stop to turn round and ask them if they needed help putting the chain on. And you've heard how I read the situation with the young lady that was waiting under the bridge out of the rain, while the other guy, who's in sunglasses, in the rain, with an umbrella across it, over his head, and you noticed the girl was swinging the umbrella as if to say, the umbrella up there. So that's why I stood there and said, don't be scared, I'm filming. Right, which you couldn't hear because the microphone's been taken out on that phone, hasn't it, by those that have a backdoor into the phone. No idea who that could be, eh? Because Samsung was only allowed to sell Samsung Galaxies in the UK if they put a backdoor in for the UK government. Oh, sorry, that slipped out, didn't it? But that's a proven leaked fact. So it's only a backup computer for my cameras. Right? I deal with things myself. I don't ever involve the police in my life. Right? I never, ever call them for help. If I say to the uncorrupted one, I need help with this, it's because I can't ask my father anymore his advice and counsel. And his view is family helps family, as long as you're telling the truth. And everything's as it should be. I can't do anything about someone's career choice. People that come out of the services often go into that line of work or something similar, don't they? So, yeah, landlord letter. Alright, just paid 70 quid to the landlords. And we've got an imaginary debt amount again. This time, 179. And I've just paid 70. And there's no debt because their system doesn't marry up to the state system. So there is no debt. Right, they just send these letters because of the way they have their system set up, because it's designed to always keep you in debt. Right? So they can dictate how you live in the property. Doesn't say anything about there's been a complaint about you or anything like that on this letter. It just says that amount, call this number. No, I paid what I had to pay today while I was over dealing with the corrupt police in Peterborough and false accusations. So landlords, another one for the bonfire bag. These, I'm not going to, I don't need to open them at the moment. It'll still be there after the weekend, won't it? Can't phone anyone until Monday, when I update the information about the meter reading and then wait for the new bill to be sent out and then pay it, because it's an estimated bill of £290. Hang on a minute. Isn't there supposed to be a cost of living payment come out soon for 300 quid? Oh, that's why they put it at that price, is it? Because they want the whole lot of it. Energy crisis? And the energy companies profiting from an energy crisis? Let me just have a look on this anyway. Where's the torch? I can't see it without it. Really? Just want to see what it says. Last time you owed £18. Oh, 18th of May, 134 to 17th of July. You paid us 0. That's correct. So you bring forward 174. Your charges for this period, including that, 115, making it 290. Nothing wrong there so far. About your changes, HM Government has introduced an energy price guarantee which reduces the amount you will be charged per unit of gas or electricity from 1st of October. Oh, when the cost of living payment comes out. For the duration Is it 1st of October or 30th of October? No, it comes out on the 30th of October, doesn't it? Into November. For the duration of the government energy price guarantee applies. Hang on, that doesn't make any sense. Per unit of gas and electricity from the 1st of October 2020 for the duration, doesn't say of, does it? Duration, the government energy price guarantee applies. This reduction is applied to your bill automatically. You do not need to take any further action. For more information, please go to We estimate the electricity you use this time. To ensure you only pay what you need to, what you use, you can supply us with an actual reading. Yep, I can. You'll see a number of different rates on your bill. Well, that's because you're trying to confuse me, so I can't work out what I'm actually paying. This relates to the price change we made on 1st of October, ready for the price of the cost of living payment to come out. Right. So where's the government vouchers then that they give you every month? Are they still on there? Meter, Safeguard Assist, capped. Standing charge, total electricity used for this subtitle, blah blah blah, about your tariff. Tariff end date, none. Annual consumption based on estimates. Doesn't say anything about the payments that the government have been making every month, so has that stopped now? I'll have to look that up. Because the government said they was paying that until the energy crisis stopped. So by that it looks like they've stopped doing it. Because they was sending us cost of living payments and also paying money directly to the energy firms, like a kind of bailout for the energy firms. Alright, so basically I'm paying 2 electric bills, 2 quarterly electric bills, which I don't mind doing, because I know I left it like that for a reason, so I could juggle my figures and pay the other bills and still have enough to live on. So I let that bill carry over, and now I've got to pay 2 quarterly bills. Not a problem. Couple of weeks I get my disability money. Then a couple of weeks after that it's back to a new cycle, new pay cycle. So I have enough to live on. I have enough for my private medication. I don't take the piss, don't go out getting drunk, don't go nightclubs, don't go pictures, don't go football anymore, don't go mixing with society because it doesn't want me as part of society and I don't want to be part of it. Because there's too many snakes. And I can't relax while I'm trying to work people out and watch for people doing snidey shit to keep myself safe while trying to enjoy myself and letting go, just letting go and having fun, having a bonkers weekend they call that, innit, but I don't get the chance ever to completely relax and let myself go. I do it on the football terraces sometimes, jumping about like a lunatic, all hyper. Not very often, because the PTSD doesn't allow for that anymore. So it's changed my whole way of living. Not in a good way. But it's been covered up. The fact that that happened to me. And I'm the one that's painted as the violent animal for standing up for myself when the guy ran at me and tried to punch me in front of my son after telling me to go hang myself. Right? I've made peace with that neighbour, but I still won't talk to him because he's a narcissist. And the best way to deal with a narcissist is no contact ever again. Right, same as after my mother making me ill, or my birth mother, not my dad's wife, my birth mother. I've had to cut ties with her because she's another one who likes pressing my buttons to get me to either react verbally for my enemies that are listening in, because she's a royalist, and she believes in all that nonsense. I don't suffer from Stockholm syndrome. I don't feel anything for my captors or people that held me against my will. After convicting me of standing up for myself when someone threatened to violently assault me and then actually ran at me to do exactly that. So bang. He got hit. I've accepted full responsibility for defending myself. It was a setup. It took him 3 years to provoke me to that after trying to kill me. 3 years it took him to provoke me to that. And I bit my lip. Made the odd comment here and there about, like, you're mental, you are. Well, you'll find out if you keep on, won't you? Stop pushing me. I don't want to know about your bullying little comments, you little Nazi, you little Hitler, coming over my fence all the time, trying to provoke me, when you've got a witness standing next to you to You know, say, well, he did this, he did that. But your witness don't tell him the evil shit he'd been doing, does he? Didn't tell the judge that, did he? The constant provoking. No. But the landlords had the full complaint logs. Didn't try and kill my neighbour though, did I? Even when I was grieving. So I didn't use grief as a reason to gas my neighbour, did I? Like I told the probation officer. The bigger man. I said, well, I'm not out gassing my neighbours, am I? I'm not assaulting people, I'm not doing anything, I'm not, you know, keeping myself to myself. Getting on with my life as a free man. Well, I'm glad to hear it. I said, have you chased up that document yet from Kent probation about my legal right to own, transport and have in my possession my fortnightly amount of cannabis yet? Well, they've checked the document exists and it does exist. Even the police are aware of it because they've checked. But they still won't release it to the doctor just yet. So I'm going to contact the old probation officer. She said feel free to contact me anytime you want. She might have even tried to contact me. But because it's coming up as different numbers, I just don't answer them. My phone number isn't linked to any of my social media accounts. That would be an old number that I have to log into the account when I first set it up or something. So it would have been an old phone number. So please don't try to contact me on that because it just goes straight to a voicemail, won't it, or whatever. You know, I don't list my numbers unless I give it to a friend who I've actually spoken to. But rarely do I use social media accounts to even give out a new number. You know? Because your social media accounts are all being spied in on, aren't they? So we've dealt with the IRA thing. We've dealt with mental health. We've dealt with the bills that I've got to pay. Anything else? How do I deal with rejection? Well, sometimes you get rejected by a lady, don't you? And then you're confused because you think, oh, I've done something wrong. Why did they just sort of disappear like that without saying anything? You know? Maybe she's got a boyfriend or something. Well, all the best to the girl. You know? So you check with a friend just to make sure you haven't started a mental issue with the lady. So you just check in to make sure your friend's okay. Not bothered about rejection, because the lady's a complicated lady. She's got issues. But that was the one I was thinking of while I was in my cell. Because she made a cheeky comment to me before she disappeared. You wouldn't last 5 minutes. I said, is that right? Is that a challenge? You know blokes have a cigarette break, don't you? before you get both barrels. You do know that, don't you? Promises. Humour. You know. So I took up that challenge. And she lives nearby to the prison. I don't know her address because I've never asked for it. She knows her and her father are welcome up here whenever they want to, if he wants to come and check me out for his daughter. Open offer. I wanted to take her over and meet my family just so I could get my sister's instincts on her being a decent woman. They're not judgmental at all. But they would have said, you know, yeah, she's got a good heart, that one. Or, watch that one. They would have given me good, honest advice, womanly advice about another woman. Not in a judging way, but by just reading her energy like a pack would read the energy of someone interacting with the pack. Because humans are no different than animals. Right? Their egos might tell them there's something completely different, but we're all animals on the face of the earth. We're mammals, the same as the other mammals. Right? That's why ladies have mammary glands for feeding babies with. See, I don't even get swayed by a pair of tits. You know? Might have done when I was much younger, but to me, these days, a pair of tits only looks decent when they've got a baby swinging off of it. Because that's what they're for. Another emphysema globule. So I'm just checking. Bit coffee coloured. Not trying to gross you out, which is why I'm not pointing in the ashtray. I've just got my hooded mask from behind my father's photo there and run it through on a rinse spin cycle with the fresh washing that's already been washed in there. See, it only needs freshening up, it's got a bit of dust on it. So it'll pick up all the smell of the detergent and fabric conditioner as it spins through the wash and the rinse. Because I was getting a lot of flies attempting to get access to my mouth in between the rain earlier and getting them in my eyes and all sorts of crap. That's the joys of riding a bike, innit? Or a motorbike, you know. I've always driven motorbikes and cars, just never had a licence. So that's the next thing that I'm getting. Because I need to move the dogs about and get out of this stir crazy what's becoming my new cell from my disability. So I'm improving my mobility and investing in tools to make my disability easier for me to manage myself. With the funds that I've been provided to do it with, because it's to make my standard of disabled living better. That's what the money's given for. And also, I was given the money what I asked for because I truthfully and honestly said I can't afford to live on the money that I'm getting now. My mobility's getting worse because of all the new government schemes and cons that they keep introducing to take the money back out of the benefits. So they give with one hand and then they take it back through something else, which leaves you usually in a worse state than what you was before. So I'm on low mobility at the moment, and it's still progressing, the emphysema and my disabilities. So I'm having to take more time out resting, recuperating, which in turn is having a knock-on effect with my health and my over 50s fitness. So the muscle mass that's been eaten away by the hunger strike from when I was in prison, I'm slowly getting back. When my shed's built, I'm going to invest in a second-hand home gym. You know, one of those sit-on benches where you can do back muscles, overhead stretches to work on back muscles, neck muscles. I've got spinal issues, top of the spine from whiplash injury, base of the spine from sciatic nerve, all that sort of crap as well. So I've got to try and build the muscles up to take the pressure off the sciatic nerve. All face surgery to correct it all. And nah, I don't trust the system getting inside my body as well. After what they've done to the outer body, no chance on this earth. It is as it is until I die. They ain't getting inside my body at all, gloved hand or not. So, I've requested the medication that I need to correct that from smoking, from when I actually do give up smoking tobacco. Yeah, I sneaked to see someone earlier. Someone local when I wasn't recording. So, when the time's right, because at the moment they're just assuming what they follow me about everywhere and set up their little things to catch my attention, just to keep me focused on the police, like flashing blue lights when I come away from the bridge at the bottom of that road, and I start filming it, and then it drives up to the roundabout to the right, make sure it can be seen driving past me as I get towards the end of the road near Lidl, then going round the roundabout there and back up the road towards where he came from again. It's like, well, what was the point of that, mate? I saw your blue lights, so I'm obviously aware that the police are there, aren't they? Why did you need to go the opposite way and then drive past me and then go all the way back again? You didn't need to do that, did you? So therefore that was done for my benefit, wasn't it? Just to keep the police in my mind. So actors, basically. Actors that use you and set you up under the Investigatory Powers Act, though. About that. You couldn't make this shit up, could you? When it's pointed out. You know what I mean? Right. Time for a glass of mango. I'm drinking alone at the moment, but my carer may be up or may not be up. I said I'll sort his taxi fare out if it's raining. I think he's having a beer with his mates at the moment, or spending time with his family there. I'm not sure. I don't ask, because it's not my business. I don't know. He just said it might be late. I said, okay, we'll get a taxi then. Don't be sort of walking around drunk around the estates trying to get to mine, will you? Not on a Friday night, please, son. You're already injured. If you get hit again on that same injury, it's going to split it open again, and fuck knows what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Just spilt a little bit of mango juice on my needle. I used to clean out my grinder. Oh yeah, I have a pack of needles, all right. Fuck off, great big needles. There's a reason for that. Oh, pipe gauzes. 2 packs of them in there. That's handy. Yeah. So it can stitch up a wound if need to. But it was used with this to stitch up and mend my swing bench. Yeah, because all the stitching had been unpicked underneath it deliberately. Not faded and fell apart. I noticed stitches were cut. The same as nuts taken off of tables and things like that in the garden. And then the screw getting taken out of the outside tap and stuff like that. Oh look, a Millwall badge. Oh, that's definitely a Millwall badge, isn't it? It is. The same one that I bought for my son as well. So yeah. So I think that's everything covered. I don't feel the need at the moment to have a doob. I will have one in a little bit when I start. Oh, it's Marnie making the noises out there again. Hulkster's snuggled up behind Lola by the looks of it. And Willow's laying up against the kitchen door and Marnie's not on the cushion at all, so that's why he's whining. No room for me. In other words, let me in there where you are. I think I'll let him, because it weren't him that was smothered in shit. Right, that can, let's lob that down there. I can't be bothered to keep getting up at the moment, so that can go down there with the mail. Let's put that back on my belt so I don't lose it. Same belt that I had in prison, along with my along with one of these with a bit of bootlace going through the top of it, and on the inside of it it fits 3 vape caps in it, so you don't have to leave them in your cell with a poncy Eastern European. So you can't go rummaging through your stuff. You know what I mean? And that used to hang off my belt under my trousers out of sight. And obviously if anyone wants to try and rip it off you, they're only going to get that, aren't they? And they might just get a belt buckle, mightn't they? In return. But I was allowed to have it. To hold my jeans up. So I went in there with dear, what have we got on here now? On the same page, yeah? Every detail about the Marley you need to know. They lied to us about Jesus. This happens when Juge and Majuge arrived. Gog and Magog, that's about Israel, Gaza war, cancer after vaccination. Palestinians have a legal right to armed resistance. I haven't had a chance to look at anything else on YouTube today. Just played 2 videos off there tonight. One by the Advancing channel, which very topical. but it's upliftment. Excuse me as I yawn. Been a very long exercising day. Yes, upliftment. Positive words of encouragement. My son mocks it. And then I hear him playing the same sort of stuff from a white guy. Right? Who's chatting shit in a Cockney accent. About whatever topic is taking his fancy for the day. And my son sees that as positive upliftment. But it's just like you'd hear a workmate. There'd always be one on a building site like that. Yeah, full of wisdom and advice. But it's never about anything of any value. You know? So you're not going to benefit from knowing about it. It's just chatting shit, amusing and entertaining the public. You know? And that's not from judging it. That's just my personal observation. I couldn't even listen to it when I was having a wobble. But he said, well, it's alright listening to this when I'm... Okay, well, you listen to that. But it's doing my head in and killing my vibe straight away. The bloke's voice is really starting to grate on me and he's just chatting shit and it's just not happening with me. So I put my headphones in and then he'd get the ump because I put my headphones in. I'm not listening to it. I'm not having my thoughts overpowered, if you see what I mean. I'm old school. If you listen to something while you're under the influence of beer or whatever, then you want that music or that whatever you're watching or enjoying to elevate you, don't you? So your soul flies and you're in an upwards motion, going up with the vibe of the music. Not like, you know, the grimy beat sound in the back of drill type rap music. It's always that dirty, lower level sort of sounds in the background of it. Do you know what I mean? It's not a positive vibe. And then by the time you work out what the lyrics is, what they're spitting at the same time, it's like, whoa, fuck's sake, yeah, buzzkill music. I might be dealing with and singing about their lives, life stories, prison experiences or whatever, but it's the vibe what goes with the lyrics. It just hasn't got the elevating factor, if you see what I mean. So it's just low vibrational music. You see what I'm saying? But if I say something like that, it's taken as an insult or a criticism, you know, which it's not meant as. You know, I do listen to some drill and that style of rap music. You know, Mike Righteous, Keiko, old Big Nasty, others like that. But it has to be something different that'll catch my attention and keep my attention. You know? Have I ever sat down with people out of my calibre and be able to hold conversations with them, yeah. And been left in rooms full of money and substances